During the classic era of Doctor Who, we were introduced to the Master, another Time Lord from Gallifrey who was at one point close friends with the Doctor, with some speculating they could potentially be brothers. There are also other crazy theories out there, but we're not going to be talking about that today. But one question was asked by Doctor Who fans: how did the Master become decayed? For those of you who don't know, the Master, played by Roger Delgado of course, made his final appearance in the 1973 serial Frontier in Space, and we didn't see the character of the Master return until 1976 as the Deadly Assassin. Now, quick side note, I've mentioned in my cancelled Doctor Who episodes video about the final game and how the Master was almost written out of the show entirely. At the time of recording, that video hasn't been released yet, so at this point a ton of people were confused because it left a rather large gap in the Master's timeline. So I'm here to answer the question how the Master became decayed exactly. So, for my research on this video, I found two sources on how the Master actually became the decayed form. The first source is from the story Legacy of the Daleks, where the Delgado Master kidnaps Susan Foreman, the Doctor's granddaughter of course. After landing on the planet Tercerus, Susan woke up and used the Master's tissue compression eliminator on the Master, thus turning him into a decayed monster. However, we now officially have the real answer to what actually happened to the Master, thanks to two forms of expanded Doctor Who media: audio stories and graphic literature. Of course, I'm talking about the Big Finish audio stories here. We start first with the graphic literature. The 2016 story Doorway to Hell saw Peter Capaldi's 12th Doctor facing off with Delgado's Master. At the end of said story, Delgado regenerates, and we can assume that the next incarnation is the pre-decayed Master, who we can presume is intended as the Geoffrey Beevers incarnation. We then move on to the multi-master trilogy of Big Finish. I'm not too familiar with any of the Big Finish stuff, so if I'm wrong about this, leave a comment below if I got anything wrong. So, the Alex McQueen Master is in the Multi-Master Trilogy, and after an encounter with his future self, this is from the point of view of the Beevers incarnation, the Beevers incarnation meets his future self, the Alex McQueen Master, and that encounter results in the Master becoming decayed. Now, this may also present some confusion, because there were people who initially thought that due to the recast, Peter Pratt's Master and Geoffrey Beevers' Master were intended to be two separate incarnations. However, I believe that it's intended now, thanks to the Big Finish audio stories, that the Master seen in the Deadly Assassin and the Master seen in the Keeper of Traken are most likely intended to be the same incarnation. Thanks to graphic literature and Big Finish, we now have a definitive answer on how the Master got his decayed form. So, it's pretty interesting. I'm also going to have a video on explaining how many bodies has the Master had. I had to dive deep into a lot of the Doctor Who canon for that video, and it's going to be very cool. I'm excited for you guys to hear about that one. I've got a ton more videos coming out over the summer, and I'm pretty excited for all the content, so you guys are really going to love what I've got in store. So that pretty much clears up how the Master became decayed. Now, the Legacy of the Daleks one does present quite a bit of confusion. Now, I'm going to do a bit more explaining here. I remember a few years back watching a video on how many bodies the Master had actually had, and at the time it was up to Missy. Now, there were quite a few contradicting theories at the time, and the tissue compression eliminator theory, the one where Delgado gets hit with the actual tissue compression eliminator. God, that's a mouthful. So, if that was actually proved to be canon, then it would mean that the Delgado Master was from his first appearance in 1973 to the Keeper of Traken in, like, what was it, 1981 or something? So, if that theory was proved canon, then for all that time, the Master would have still been the Delgado incarnation. And that theory probably would have been interesting, to say the least. I use that word a lot in my videos. But still, yeah, the Master became decayed after an encounter with his future self, and he regenerated after a fight with the Doctor. So I hope I've cleared a lot of stuff up for those of you who are sort of new to the classic Who era, and I hope I've cleared up some stuff on the expanded media. So if you guys enjoyed this, please hit the like button and share this with some of your mates, and if you certainly want to see more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button and ring the bell. That way you won't miss any other videos. I'm currently trying to do a few more discussion videos kind of like this, so I'm going to be taking a break from some of the animated stuff, at least for a bit. I'm currently working on a continuation to my animated Doctor Who series. The next episode's called The Shadow of Steel, and I'll probably be going into more detail about that series in probably other future videos. And I'm hopefully going to be doing some more commentary videos on Batman the series, the extended cut of Black Mamba. Side note, that's going to come out August 27th. 22nd. That's pretty bad timing, because that's on the same day as DC Fandom. I'll probably expect the views are probably going to come in like the next day after, or people who aren't even watching DC Fandom anyway. So anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed me ranting on for this whole video, and I'll see you guys soon.